Hi, my name is Luna, and I'm going to be talking about Andrew Jackson presidency and about all the erratic things he did while being president. These are more note cards. I first want to talk about the founding fathers and how they made the political system to be made and why they wanted it that certain way. First off, they wanted the executive power to be the weakest of the political system. It's not weak per se, but the legislative should have more power over the executive. They made it because they saw the British king and they saw how that power affected them very badly. The founding fathers made it in the way so the legislative had most of power. In that way, I mean, they had the power to create the laws, declare wars, but it was the executive power to pass the laws, basically. And they wanted the electors to vote for the president, not the people. But Andrew Jackson was not having any of that. When he was elected president by the electors, his first thing to do was, he was a man of the people. He was for the people, and he wanted the people to vote instead of the electors voting. Now that we know that he wanted the people to vote and he made the people vote, he changed the whole system. And how he changed the whole system was basically how, one of the examples of this was he created a political party. Now, the founding fathers, they did not like the idea of Americans having their own party. And the reason being is because they thought it was selfish reasons to have a party. But Jackson thought otherwise. Jackson thought it was a way for the Americans to join in politics. Another thing Jackson did was he fired about hundreds of people in the office, and he hired people who supported him. Now, before he went on to become a president, one thing you need to know about him is he was in the military, general officer. In the War of 1812, he got shot in the arm. And back then, if you got shot somewhere, you had to chop off your limb. And he did not want that, so he decided to go to the Cherokees for help. So he went over to the Cherokees, and they did indeed save him. So he vowed to protect them under the civil rights law. Although, after he did that, 1 year into his presidency, he signed the 1830 Indian Removal Act. And what that does is, it lets the government to legally kidnap the Indians and take them to an internment camp, which is bad. Another thing that Andrew Jackson did that was also against the Indians was he made them lose their homes. After the Indians adopted the European customs, in order to stay there, they still lost their homes. And even though the Supreme Court ruled that he wasn't allowed to do that, Andrew Jackson did not care and just went with the plan. Another erratic thing that Andrew Jackson did was he loathed the bank. And for no particular reason, he just loathed it. And so he decided to shut down the bank. Shutting down the bank, it caused inflation. And what comes after inflation is the economic depression. He basically caused an economic depression for shutting down a bank that he did not like. Andrew Jackson also hated paper money. He hated him so much, in fact, that he forced people to buy land with not money, but with gold or silver. So not only did he shut down the bank and hated the money, forced them to buy gold and silver too. And these all are reasons that show that not only his presidency was somewhat odd, because he did some good things too, which one of the good things was creating a party, allowing the people to vote. But he also did some awful things like betraying the Cherokees, the Indians, made them lose their homes, took them to camps, caused an economic depression. Although some more than others, Some might think he's good, some might think he's bad. That's how his presidency went.